everybody, it's Emily back with another Grass River microclass. I'm here on the new boardwalk on a gorgeously sunny but a little bit windy day, so sorry if there's some wind in the background. But you guys, the wetlands are starting to bloom. So today we're gonna focus on some of the early blooming wildflowers that you can find in the Cedar Swamp right now at Grass River.
Alright, so first we've got what is called trailing arbutus, and this is maybe the first wildflower that we get to pop in the Cedar Swamp every year. And you can actually find this flower not only in rich conifer swamp like we are in right now, but also in drier upland habitats. Like I've seen this along upland trails in Sleeping Bear before, in like sandy soil under pines. But we do find it here too, and so these flowers are in a cluster. They've each got 5 petals that are sort of fused into a trumpet shape. They're the palest of pale pinks, almost white, and they smell really sweet if you can get close to them, which is sometimes hard because this plant is like a ground cover. It's hence its name, trailing. So it creeps along the ground, never really grows any taller than like couple inches, but it's got these evergreen sort of leathery oval shaped kind of rough feeling leaves, and if you look closely at the leaves, they've got rust colored little tiny hairs at the edges. And another common name for this flower is Plymouth Mayflower, because it was the first flower the Pilgrims saw after the bleakness of their first harsh New England winter. And it's pollinated by bumblebees, and its larval host, it is the larval host for the hoary elfin butterfly. So the hoary elfin butterfly will lay its eggs on trailing arbutus. All right, next we have a flower called Marshmarigold, and this is a flower that loves to grow in wet places. So obviously wetlands, swamps, edges of marshes, even roadside ditches, along edges of streams. This is a pretty common plant, and it's got these super bright, really obvious, very shiny, what look like petals, but they're actually sepals, and then really obvious stamens, so the part of the flower that bears the pollen. And if they look like buttercups to you, good job, because they are in the buttercup family, Ranunculaceae. And they're pollinated by hoverflies. And you can also identify them pretty easily, even when they don't have the flowers, because they've got these really nice, sort of like heart-shaped or kidney-shaped, glossy green leaves. Last but not least, we have one of my favorite spring wildflowers. This is Leatherleaf. I love it because it's just so delicate. It's got these beautiful, tiny, cream-colored, nodding bell-shaped flowers. They're often described as urn-shaped. And the leaves, as you can guess, are leathery. On the top side, they're sort of a dark green, and then on the bottom side, they're more yellowy, but they can get these like brownish scales as they age. And the leaves do get smaller as you go out toward the terminal end of the branches here. And Leatherleaf loves to grow in acidic conditions, so it often is found in bogs, and we know that the soil in this rich conifer swamp where we are right now is not acidic. It's actually neutral to alkaline, or the opposite of acidic, but you often find Leatherleaf growing in these areas on top of places that have sphagnum moss as a ground cover, because sphagnum moss tends to acidify the soil wherever it grows. And Leatherleaf can reproduce both via seed but also via rhizomes or roots, so it can send up new shoots from its roots. So you often find it growing in thickets like this because it can reproduce via those rhizomes. So we've got a nice thicket of Leatherleaf going on here. Leatherleaf is pollinated by bumblebees, just like trailing arbutus. And as you might guess, they are closely related. They're both in the family Ericaceae, which is sort of our family of heath and heather plants. Those are plants that are often evergreen, low-growing shrubs. that often grow in these really acidic conditions. So a lot of our plants here in the swamp are in the heath family, in that Ericaceae family, including cranberry, blueberry, creeping snowberry, bog rosemary, and a few others. One last thing about leatherleaf is that it is really important for the brown elfin butterfly because it is the host plant. So brown elfin butterflies will lay their eggs on leatherleaf.
Thanks for tuning into this Grass River microclass, everybody. This is my favorite time of year. It's only gonna get more colorful with more flowers from here on out. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.